Next stop on my Africa tour is none other than Botswana, Africa. I saw zebras, giraffes, rhinos with their noses. That was a big thing for me to see rhinos with their noses on, just due to poaching and so many of them not having their noses. And just the landscape, seeing like the diversity in the landscape on the continent of Africa. Botswana has a way more of a desert vibe, almost like Arizona. So it was just nice to be in a different part. If this is your first time, I am Eb from Eb's Migrations. Welcome to my channel. If you are returning, welcome back. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my channel. It's me, Eb from Eb's Migrations. Several years ago, I decided to leave the U.S. and embark on a journey of living abroad. That journey has led me to some beautiful places around the world. I share my journey to inspire you to take that leap of faith, follow your passion, and live your best life. There's no better time than the present. So what are you waiting for? Let's go. But aside from my safari experience, I was thinking, what do I say in this video? I was only there for about 4 days visiting a friend, so I had a very local experience, which I'm grateful for because I was able to see the country in a different way. And I was in the capital, Gaborone, which is very developed, and like any other city, you have your mini strips of shopping malls, places to go eat and go shop, and then you have your residential rural areas with homes in the desert. And it was hot, so most people were inside during the day. But the thing that stood out to me the most were the people. And I'm big on that. I say that in a lot of my videos. The places that resonate with me most are the places that the people have good energy, because I am an empath. So I feel, and people of Botswana are genuinely kind and giving and humble and friendly, and you are just family. And that's what stood out to me the most about my trip to Botswana, were the people. Yes, my safari experience was at this reserve, and the cool thing is you can go here just to have tea, coffee, or like some snacks. You can go eat. It's a cafe, and chill with the zebras. You can just sit there and chill with the zebras without going and getting a safari ride. You still can have access to just admire the zebras, and that was just so cool. And the safari ride, I think, was about $25, 25 USD. Giraffes were completely unbothered, just staring as we sat and watched, and you just saw other wildlife, and that was cool. So I enjoyed my safari experience. I was just over the moon to be up close and personal with like animals, and I was having my first experience. I didn't see elephants in Botswana. Fun fact, Botswana is home of the most elephants in all of the world. Yes, they have the most elephants in all of the world. So if you love elephants, Botswana is your place. I will also suggest, if you are looking for a safari experience, you can go to the Kalahari Desert and experience it there. I met a lot of travelers that told me Botswana was their favorite country out of all of the countries in Africa that they visited, and it was because of the Kalahari Desert, or they went to the Okavango Delta. And both of these are special places. They rate the Okavango River as the last Garden of Eden. Want to see something other than the South Africa, Kruger National Park? I would totally suggest. After I did the safari, my highlights from the trip was the safari, and then there was a series called the First Ladies, Number One Ladies Detectives Agency, which starred Jill Scott, the singer Jill Scott from the States. And we went to that restaurant and had lunch there, and this little girl came up. She looks like she could be my child. She came and just had lunch with me. She had a little friend that came, and her mom was A-okay with her sitting next to me and having lunch with me. She sat and she chatted, and after that we went to this art center, and the guy was nice enough to give just some history of some of the paintings and explain some of the culture and the history of Botswana along with my friend.
This is a place called Kotla. Kotla is a place where the village chief or the king of the village calls people for meetings. But women are not allowed to speak at the Kotla. They actually get to sit in a corner on their own, that the men sit on chairs and then women have to sit on the floor. So the fact that this picture has a woman speaking on a mic, that actually means a lot to women in Botswana.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's basically, so women will design these in different patterns. So the red one that I got is significant to my culture. And then the brown ones is the southeast part of Botswana.
Okay.
And then the one that I have, the reddish ones, will be my culture, like the Kalanga.
What does the red one stand for?
The red ones, my tribe is known as the most strongest tribe.
Hey.
Like physically and mentally strong people. Like, like when you tell people that I'm from the northeast, I'm Kalanga, I'm from like the Zim area, they know that you're resilient.
Wow.
So yeah, so the red signified the resilience that we have.
What was the name of your tribe again?
We are Kalanga.
Kalanga.
Yeah, we are Kalanga. Look at this.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it happened to be the particular weekend that I was there was the celebration of their independence from England. So we went to a celebration, and the traditional clothing is the blue and white skirt that I was wearing as my friend's clothing. And we went to the celebration. It was free to the public, and I was introduced to some of the politicians. They were excited that I was an American and that I was there on their Independence Day for their festivities. So that was nice to be welcomed that way. And we just had food and sat and hung out with the people. Again, the people were amazing. Just pride, like that's what stood out. It reminded me a lot of Zimbabwe. Just the pride that the people have to be from Botswana, and to the history that they know about their tribes and their lineage and their family, and then the pride that comes along with that. So some fun facts, again, like I mentioned earlier, Botswana is home of the world's largest elephant population. It's also the world's biggest diamond producing country. I didn't know that. Checking that out and putting it on your list and looking into Botswana. It was very safe. The capital city was extremely safe. I walked around by myself. Like I walked to stores. It was hot, but it was very accessible by foot too. And I like to walk around. So I was able to walk maybe 35 to 40 minutes to a grocery store from where my friend lives and just walked around and see the trees. I love trees. I love nature. And there was beautiful nature, even it being in the desert. But safety was like, we would be out at night and I never had an inclination or intuition of that danger was near or that I felt unsafe. I really felt like I can actually live in Botswana by myself. Through the 7 countries that I visited, Botswana is one that living there felt like it would come very easy for me, because you have all your amenities that you would have back home, and safety is important for me, especially as a solo traveler. But Botswana, I think, will offer something new to see, something fresh, and just beauty of the landscape. And it sits in between Namibia, Zimbabwe, and South Africa. And little fun facts on Namibia is the home of the first modern day humans. So where we are all descendants of, those people come from Namibia, that border where the Kalahari Desert is, from Botswana and Namibia. You can still go and see the Sands people, the bush people. You can go and see how they live, still very in tune with nature. But that rich history is there. There was a lot of richness in Namibia, and Namibia is on my bucket list, and it's very close to Botswana, so you can see both of them. So I think Botswana, in terms of if you were looking for a safari experience in Africa, and most people will go to Kruger National Park, I would say check out Botswana for their safaris and look it out. So I hope this video helps. Just giving you a little brief introduction to Botswana, some of the history, the culture, and the landscape and the beauty of the country. Love and light. Until the next video. Later.